man, how you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Tailgate. We're going to be talking all types of NFL stuff here. Got Daren and Jimmy, co-hosts, I guess, together, hosts of Talking the Gridiron. Super excited about Week 18, the season finale of the NFL. What's your guys' early thoughts on today's games?
It's going to be, normally you'd like to think that nothing's going to happen on the last week and everybody's going to go home with what they already have, but that is not the case already. We got two games that happened already that had major playoff implications. It's good. I think this is why the NFL pushed so hard for the 17-game schedule, because now you get a lot of same thing happened the last 2 years. Raiders and Chargers, and last year with Jacksonville and Tennessee. So I think it's good for the NFL. It's shown. I feel like they can't really do anything now that isn't going to be received well. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that Bills-Dolphins game tonight during Talking the Gridiron, giving the updates while we're watching it live. That's something I'm looking forward to, because that game is going to have a lot on the line.
It's the division winner comes out of whoever wins that one is the AFC East division winner, and we'll have an interesting playoff matchup,
guys, with the Bills, where if the Jaguars win today, that's a win or lose, basically win or you're in for the Bills game. Like, there is no wild card backups. Either they win the division or they're out of the playoffs. So
if the Jaguars win, they would have to win their division.
NBC's rooting for that. They want the juices.
You can thank the Pittsburgh Steelers for winning their game yesterday for that happening.
But when the Ravens don't play, they're guys. That's it.
Yeah.
Again, Tomlin 10 wins, incredible. I don't know how.
That's insane. He hasn't had a single losing season in his 17 years as a NFL head coach. That's to me that's incredible. It's
Did
insane.
You guys see that funny meme of that one, or it's that part in Happy Gilmore at the very beginning where where he's like his girlfriend he thinks is on the speaker downstairs. He's like, "I hate your guts. You're pathetic. You losers." And he comes back. He's like, "I love you, baby. I love you." That's like somebody wrote that Steeler fans towards Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin. I thought that was hilarious.
That is funny.
We love you. You son of a. We hate you.
I wanna kiss you.
Yeah, exactly.
CJ Stroud. The Houston Texans make their way to the playoffs as the first rookie quarterback since 2013 to lead his team to the NFL playoffs. So how you feeling about the Texans?
I got a guess as to who that was. RG3 and Andrew Luck. Or did Andrew Luck even get there? I think it's RG3 because
it's RG3.
Yeah. So it was good for Stroud. It's good for the Houston Texans. It's not necessarily unexpected at this point. I know that it would be unexpected at the beginning of the season, but it's a long season. We've been doing this now for 6 months. We're going to be doing this for about 5.5, 6 months. So we knew what they were. We knew that they got to this point where they're obviously still going through growing pains. That's why they had a win and get in situation. They were handedly winning their division for a while, and they let everybody come back. So, but I do think that it shows this is the right team, and they have so many draft picks. If they continue to hit like they hit this year, CJ Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. in the first round, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. If you hit at that high of a rate for years on end, this is no longer the cute Houston Texans. We're talking about the Houston Texans as an expansion franchise winning at least a Super Bowl if they continue to do what they did this year.
New head coach theory too. They got the new head coach. They got the rookie quarterback. Kind of like there's always this 1 year where I feel like that new coach comes in.
The picture. I like the picture Tyler with the boombox next to D'Amico Ryan's house. Like, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
There was, I think, just United fans that wouldn't need that. Even that I don't know, like 10-7 from the Texans after the year they had last year. We ripped on them all last year on Talking the Gridiron. Like we just constantly ripping on them. So for D'Amico Ryans to bring that in, and then I kind of laugh in some ways. Remember that play where they beat the Colts the last week of the season or something like that, so they didn't get the number 1 pick, but they ended up with Stroud and Anderson today. So like it's just really weird. Yeah, like they didn't have the number 1 pick, but maybe it kind of made their decision more clear in some ways. So I just kind of find their whole kind of story this year. And we talked about it, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, talking to the grinder was out of all the wild card teams, who's the most dangerous? If they, were a wild card, they can still win the division, I guess now. But I'm like, they might be the most dangerous team because of Stroud factor. I don't know.
I like them.
Wild card, not division winners.
No, I know.
Right.
It's just hard to. It's hard for me to say that the last rookie quarterback to do something like that would be Big Ben, and I think he wasn't a wild card team. No. I don't think that we can bank. I know that he's had a great season, and I think he's going to have a great career. I'm no longer going to be on the CJ Stroud sucks because he's an Ohio State quarterback train. Yeah. But I think it's a little bit unrealistic to say that they'd be able to go on the road. They might be able to sneak one game, sneaking 2 games away from teams that have been here before that have guys in playoff experience. I like it. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I just don't know if I could. A head coach is going to be able. Defense is going to be so different in the playoffs. So CJ Stroud is going to have that learning curve, and now we all know defensive coordinators hold things that work against certain offenses. Just so if I see you again in the playoffs, you're not going to do anything against me.
Right, and I'm pretty sure I want to say that if they end up where they are in the wild card spot in the 6th seed, they'll play the Chiefs in Kansas City, which is going to be tough.
It's a winnable game.
Easy win.
Winnable game.
It is. I mean, it's a winnable game. But yeah, so right now they're the 4th. If the playoffs were to end, Jacksonville loses, whatever. Yeah. They're the 4th seed.
To be told still there. A lot to be told still there.
They're. I mean, there is. But they're for sure in the playoffs. As it's to me, it's I wouldn't say it's mind-boggling, but to see where this team was last year to where they are now, getting into the playoffs, you have a lot to it. Does CJ Stroud, is he your offensive rookie of the year?
Him, but I mean, Puka Nacua is close to breaking the rookie receiving yards record. Yeah. So there is that.
MVQ, the quarterback.
No, he's not going to be MVP.
No, MVQ though. The quarterback always seems to reign. In
running backs winning it this year. Lamar Jackson's going to win it this year. He's a 2-time running back winner.
I should go back to our first initial thoughts of the preseason about him this year. I think I was listening back. It was funny. He outdid some of our expectations.
I hit some, I missed some because we've been doing these re-release episodes, and one of them was when Russ first got signed, and Nico and I are both like, we just get great athletes here. Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning is like, oh shit. But then I also said before the Avalanche run, I was like, it's very hard for me to see anybody really giving them that much grief. And 2 games was the only as much grief as anybody gave us. So I mean, I hit and I miss.
Yeah. I got Stroud winning it. I think he wins it over the wide receiver from the Rams, who's had a hell of a year.
Yeah, he did. They both have. You look at another, award that the NFL gives out is the Coach of the Year. I mean, I don't know how it's not DeMeco Ryans at this point.
It's got to be. Well, yeah, because I would say that was also a Coach of the Year game last night because Shane Steichen would have deserved it, getting Indianapolis into the playoffs with Gardner Minshew and not having your top 5 overall pick at quarterback. So. I love what both of those guys did, and that's another one. Like Philly fans, they're too proud to go stand outside the door with a boombox, but they're like, man, Shane might have not been that bad, dude. Shane might not have been that bad.
Well, especially with the way the Eagles season has been such an up and down. It's kind of eerie, similar to the way the Chiefs season has been. It's been that up and down. They played really good. They played really bad. So it's one of those things.
I gotta think the Browns coach is gonna get some love too.
Stefanski. Yeah,
I would think he's gonna get
would imagine so.
12 wins. Let's say they win today, and they had 12, and he had Joseph Flacco for a little bit there, and then he had some other ones.
Don't you start, Daren. We're 0-5 against the division. I need 1. I can't get swept by everybody. I won't be able to be a football fan if we get swept by everybody.
Joseph Flacco throwing the ball around there. My goodness. Could you imagine?
He's not playing.
Could you imagine if they win the Super Bowl and he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion now? Is he a Hall of Famer? Is Joe a Hall? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we can get him a couch to nap on in the
Hall. No, he can't.
No, he's not gonna. He's not. He's no.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna put
Eli. A league award. A league award. I know that he has the 1 Super Bowl and he has a Super Bowl MVP. but Hall of Famers almost all have Super Bowls and Super Bowl MVPs.
5-time Pro Bowler.
Was he ever an All-Pro?
I don't think. I highly doubt it in the AFC.
And then he played for the New York Jets, so it's just you can't do that. He's not going in, but he is.
The Doug Browns, the Douglas Browns, the Jimmy Bengals today. I like in the Jordan Bengals.
Take it easy today, Doug. You guys don't need nothing. Your spot's clinched. You can't even move up or down.
No, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck in that 5th seed.
Let Jake Browning have a little bit of fun.
Come on, man.
Give me something to root for. It's probably the last time I'm seeing T. Higgins / Tyler Boyd in a Bengals uniform.
Both gone.
No, yeah. I don't think it's going to be both, but it definitely is going to be one or the other. And Tyler Boyd just restructured. So you're not
I'd imagine it's going to be T. Higgins.
I think so too. But he sucked this year. So who's going to pay T. Higgins? Really? Who's going to pay
City? Kansas City.
Okay, then he's going to be Kadarius Toney 2.0 because I guarantee you that's what he was looking like this year. Ball's right in his hands, and he's
not even gone yet, and Jimmy's already comparing.
He had 2 games where he made like 4 catches. That's it. It's like 4 massive catches. That's why people are laughing at me right now. But like Daren, like you guys, but it's not. It's the truth. You underperformed in a contract season.
Maybe you need to Burrow more than anything else.
But a team who's desperate for a wide receiver like Kansas City is. They're gonna.
What money do they have to pay him?
Yeah, they don't.
That's a very good question too. I don't know what they're at. But they have Rashad. Is it Rashad Rice? Rashid Rice. He's pretty solid. I don't think he's playing today though. He is out today.
Travis Kelce's not going to the Golden Globes, guys, so he should.
What?
Yeah, I know. He's not a very supportive boyfriend, if I'm going to say so myself.
That's a breakup happening. I can feel it right there. We got something looming in there. We got something.
The night you missed my Golden Globes.
Jumping over to the NFC. Do the Packers beat the Bears today and get in?
That's going to be
Bears. The Bears have been playing a little better though. The Bears have been playing
a much better game.
Both teams. Fields wants that job still. He can't give it up, right? He's got to make the Bears think twice about drafting a quarterback.
Fields hasn't lost the job, in my opinion, but I don't think he's going anywhere.
He hasn't really necessarily won it either, in a sense. So we'll see what he does. Maybe his draft position makes him win in the job, but he has been playing better though. I've been. They randomly have been on locally here a lot more randomly, so I've been able to watch them out here in Northern California a little more. I think the Bears upset them.
I think there's a distinct possibility.
Yeah,
I think the Bears upset them. I think they pull it off.
Counterpoint: this could be Jordan Love's Aaron Rodgers / Brett Favre game where he takes the next step because he's looked really good the last few games that I've seen him in. He's making a lot of throws that I didn't think he could ever make. So he's learning, he's evolving, he's getting better, and they have to win. They have to win to keep a playoff spot at this point. And they own the Bears. Even Aaron Rodgers said it on his way out. I still own you. You guys can't do anything. I still own you.
Do you think Jimmy then Love would lose a lot with the fan base if he lost a game like this? Like, that aura of the other quarterbacks, like
it would be 4 hours of
it'd be like, we lost the Bears. Love had a chance to get us to the playoffs and he blew it.
There's
Rodgers
that.
And Favre wouldn't have done that. Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah.
There's that because they don't give respect to the Bears. They think the Bears are just not even what? They're a franchise? No. I hate the Vikings. I don't even hate the Bears. They just are non essential.
That'll be interesting that game today.
There'll be 6 hours of talk radio if the Packers lose tonight, especially if it's in fantastic fashion, like Justin Fields goes out and dominates. You win by multiple scores. Then it's going to be. I think then you see LaFleur and Jordan Love being talked about as can they really get it done because this is not the culture that Vince set up when we had the Packers. We need the Packers back.
I kind of would rather have the Packers in though than the Seahawks. From like it, I don't know. Like, I don't
see Drew Lock in the playoffs.
That's what I mean. Like, and then like the Saints, they play the Falcons today. I guess they're the other one that could get in there. I don't know if I want.
Yeah, but they have to win their division to get in.
I love that
any of those 3 teams.
Falcons can still get in if they win in the was the Bucks lose it. That's hilarious to me.
I mean, the Falcons are a very, very weird team. Also, like, there's no reason that team should not have won 10, 11 games this year outside of their quarterback play.
And there's no reason they should be in the playoffs right now. Like the fact they don't even look like a playoff team. Like the fact that they get in, I'd be like, wow, that should be the 10:00 game on Saturday here for a while.
Yeah.
That should be the
football starts at 10:00. What?
you
mean the Bengals wild card losing spot? That's what I dubbed it.
I couldn't watch it when the Raiders played out. I always have like coaching here Saturday morning. Well, why are we doing that? Saturday morning, Bengals, Raiders. That's on the Raiders should be on prime time. What are we doing?
Raiders on prime time. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. There's that. So I guess my only thought is out of the Vikings, Saints, Seahawks, Packers that are remaining, I do think the Packers, if I'm just talking as a fan watching, they would be the team I'd rather watch play in the playoffs and give a team a chance to knock them out. So if they lose to the Bears today, then maybe I think a little differently about it. But that's the only thing I'm kind of checking out.
It would be a hell of a 2-year ending because last year the Lions beat them and knock them out, even though the Lions had nothing to play for. So now you lose to the two doormats of your division and the season finale. Both times you get knocked out of the playoffs. That goes from not that hot of a seat to a scalding. Like you should probably get up. You should move.
Yeah.
So I guess that game has a little spice to it then from that factor today. For that
cayenne pep.
A little spice to it there.
Just a little. Just a little. Not a lot. Just a little. Just a little pinch. Just a little pinch. There's still a lot at play today. So let's go ahead and let's move over to let's try to do some picks. Let's see what we can get out of this. And we'll jump around. We'll start with Daren's game of the week, apparently, and that's the Bills-Dolphins. I think for me, I think the Bills get this one. I think the Bills win their division. They handily defeat the Miami Dolphins tonight.
I think the Dolphins pull it out. I think they're still one of the more dangerous teams in the league. The Hill injuries really affected them. You can just see it a little bit on offense, how much of a difference he makes for them. Hopefully he can get healthy come playoffs, but I still think the Dolphins hold on to what has been theirs the whole rest of the league. Sorry, Jesse out there, other sports show. Your Bills can't pull it out tonight. I think I have a little bit more faith in the Dolphins, so I'm saying they finish it out today.
Jimmy?
It's a total war of attrition because both these teams are decimated by injury.
Yeah.
I was gonna lean Dolphins.
Injury at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the fact that they got absolutely hammered by the Ravens. I know that the Ravens are a good team, but when Brandon and I were on last week and I was wandering around Florida, and I'm sure that I pissed off some Dolphins fans, but I was like, you have to prove that you're real. You have to prove it, and they didn't prove that they were real. I don't think that they're as bad as what they showed. I think that the Ravens can do that to pretty much anybody because the ground and pound and like you never get the ball. I play the Ravens twice a year. You never have the football. You have the football for like 30 seconds and you go, what? Where'd it go? Why do they have it again? And why are they running the clock? Why is there only 3 minutes left in the game? I've only been watching for 15 minutes.
We never have the ball.
Miami
at home too. They're at home. You can't lose.
They normally do win at home, but no Tyreek. Is Tyreek back?
Pretty sure Tyreek's back.
Okay, that's the problem.
Okay,
he hasn't been its full speed.
Jalen Waddle and Mostert are back also.
Guess what? You don't have anymore. You don't have Jalen Phillips. You don't have Bradley Chubb rushing Josh Allen. Yeah. And the Bills have figured out a running game. So I think that's where it comes down to. Can Christian Wilkins make up for two premier pass rushers in the league? I don't know. D tackles normally can't. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go Bills.
I think the Bills are the I wouldn't say hotter the team right now, but the team that's playing better football.
Less hurt.
Yeah.
They have an identity now. They actually can, like Jimmy said, they actually have an identity a little bit. Like we're going to run it.
And Sean now I can't even think. McDermott was an All-American wrestler in high school.
Yes, he was. A little shout out there.
We're legally obligated to say that every time they
wasn't Jim Dance. They bring that up every day.
I don't know if you know this, Tony, but he wrestled in high school. He was actually pretty good too. He was an All-American. This is what happens when I spend
useless.
Yeah, no, useless facts like
Yeah.
social studies teacher, but this is what happens when I spend 36 hours locked in a van with 14 to 18-year-olds. And my brain was literally coming out of my ears yesterday because you try and tune it out, but then they say something and you're just like, what? So I gotta tune in now. And then it's just like get me home.
My nephew yesterday, so they're I think was he 12, 11, 12. He said something. He's like Eli Manning is a better quarterback than Tom Brady stats wise. And I said, what? I'm like, no.
Do you know how many records Tom Brady has first through fifth?
No. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, no. There are two different levels of quarterback. And then he's like, oh well, who
win-loss record stats.
That's what he that's what got brought up. They're like, well, who's the only quarterback to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? And I was like, fair point, but it's still not it's still not.
How many other quarterbacks has Eli Manning played in the Super Bowl? None, because he never made it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
He got lucky the 2 years that he went to the Super Bowl.
How about the Hall of Fame? You're right. Nick Foles should be Tom Brady in the
He's already got a statue.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
He's already got a statue.
How about the Carson Wentz led LA Rams taking on I don't even know who the 49ers backup quarterback is going to be today.
Oh, it's going to be Darnold Samuelson.
Sam Darnold.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
What a matchup! What a matchup we're going to get there. It's a game that really doesn't mean a lot. I guess it does more for the Rams because if they win, they're going to get the 6th seed no matter what. If they end up losing and Green Bay wins, I believe they'll drop to the 7th seed.
But they obviously don't care if they're not starting.
Yeah, apparently they don't. They're just like, we're in the playoffs. That's all that matters. We're lucky to be here.
To me, they're one of the more dangerous teams.
Yeah, they could be. Is Cup going to be available again at some point? Because I know he's been up and down.
I think he's playing. I don't think he's playing today. But
Williams factor though, Jimmy, the way he's running physically, like he's actually he's pretty legit. The running back there, and then the confidence of the rookie wide receiver, and then Stafford. I've not always loved Stafford, but if fourth quarter he usually plays pretty well and it's a close game, you know what I mean? Like, and he can get red hot. So it'll be interesting who they match. Like I was trying to see who they like. If they, let's say that right now they would play Detroit, or they'd probably play Dallas. It looks like they could be either of those teams. And of course, if they play the Bucks,
they're gonna get mollywopped by Detroit if they play Detroit because they're trying to become what Detroit already is. They don't have, because that's what they missed out on when they had the Super Bowl team. They had Roger Saffold and Andrew Whitworth on the left side of their offensive line.
Those are two versus the Rams. That'd be kind of intriguing there.
That would be interesting, but the not having that physicality and having to rebuild it back, they're doing a better job about it, but they've been soft as baby, you know what, for the last 3 seasons since they won the Super Bowl. And I'm okay saying that because they broke my heart. They legitimately broke everything in me because I thought we were winning. I thought we won, and then we didn't. I think Detroit in the playoffs is going to surprise people. I know that they struggled. I know that they lost to the Cowboys. What travels in the playoffs? What wins playoff games? Running the football, having the best offensive line. We don't need Jared Goff to throw it more than 20 times. If we need Jared Goff to throw it more than 20 times, we're getting our asses handed to us.
And you're probably throwing 2 interceptions.
And I didn't even think about it. The other storyline, probably bigger storyline, Stafford be playing against the Lions. So like that would be even kind of more.
Who
wins the trade? That's what it's going
to come down to.
Game. That's the trade bowl.
All right,
that's the storyline for Rams Lions is Stafford returns to Detroit in a playoff game against the Lions,
and they'd never mention Goff whatsoever.
No,
nope. That's the key. That'll be fun.
I mean, that's how it would be. Goff would mean nothing to that game.
Get Cooper Kupp up there on the podium. Ask him why didn't you do pancake Sundays with Jared Goff when he was here?
Pancake Sundays.
Just pull out all the old Hard Knock shit.
I'm taking the Niners. I don't think the Rams will with Wentz. I'm taking the Niners.
Is McCaffrey playing for the Niners, or are they sitting him?
I don't think he is.
I haven't seen anything.
It's a Boobie Miles situation waiting to happen if he is playing.
Quarter. Yeah, playing quarters.
I'm trying to think of the power dynamic in the NFC West. It's Carroll beats Shanahan?
Carroll beats Shanahan. Shanahan beats McVay.
Okay, so then 49ers.
McVay beats, yeah.
And everybody beats the Cardinals. Now
that's true. Yeah. I was trying to see. It looks like Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle's all going to play. Christian McCaffrey is not playing.
Not shocking.
He might not. I guess if he's not playing, then he's probably not going to be in gear. If he's in gear, they'll throw him in. It
says a limited playing time.
That's cool. I know so many times when they were his high school teams, because I got to see that up close and personal. We're trying to hold him out, and they'd just be like, all of a sudden, Valor Christian is in a tight game. They go, okay, Christian, go return the punt.
Yeah, yeah, touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown. Yeah. And now come back over here. You're not playing anymore. Right. And get close again. Now go return the kickoff, please.
Yeah. How about our guys over at Out of Your Falcon Mind? You got Falcons and Saints today. Depending on the Bucs outcome against the god awful Carolina Panthers in their ownership, whatever direction that's going. Do the Falcons get it done today? They had a rough game against Chicago last week, so I don't know.
It would be so typical of the Saints to win like they did last week and then lose this week. That
would be.
That is a Derek Carr.
Whose dome is it in?
It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans.
Is it going to be Heineke again, or is it Desmond Ridder?
Doesn't matter.
It does, because Desmond Ridder will not win on the road.
Yeah.
Now, Heineke can at least give you a shot. Desmond Ridder will not win on the road. That's been his MO.
I'm pretty sure it's Heineke that's starting. Is what I heard.
So
I think I'm going to go. I actually think the Falcons are going to win this one. I think it'll be irrelevant because the Bucs will beat the Panthers. But I think the Falcons. I just don't. I've been saying it the whole year about Derek Carr and the Saints, and I feel like they might as well finish it off the way I've kind of said they would be all year, and that's a loss after a big win. And so I feel like that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to say somehow they lose to the Falcons. I don't know how, but they will lose probably ugly, like 16-13 or something like
that. I think the last time they played, it was about that score, but they had like 5 turnovers, both teams between the two teams in the red zone. So like they would get really, really close and then just not do anything. People might have expected
missed the playoffs on a Tampa Bay last minute field goal against the Panthers.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Football is pain at that point.
Yeah.
That's all that is. It's not even fun. Football is not fun anymore, is it? Is it? No, not even a little bit.
Last time the Saints and the Falcons played, it was 24-15 Atlanta.
That was at home. Desmond Ridder loves playing at home. People might have expected me to back off my Dennis Allen takes because I went at him pretty hard last week. I'm not backing off of him. I'm doubling down. He is still a god-awful coach. I don't know what the hell happened last week. I was expecting them to get trounced by Tampa Bay. But then I was thinking about it, and even when Brady was in Tampa Bay, New Orleans, I think, swept them both years, however many seasons that he was there. It must just be something about the uniform matchup, like what we talked about with the NFC West. So I'm not going to put too much stock into that. And I'm going to – I don't even know if they'll enjoy this or not, but I'm going to give John and Out of Your Falcon Mind some hope. And I say they win and they keep their playoff hopes alive. I don't know if they want that or not, because now you're missing out on a draft pick. You're not going to be able to pick anybody to replace the 2 quarterbacks that you have. So is it good? Is it bad? I don't know, but I do think Atlanta wins.
Okay. I like that. I as much as I would hate to see the Saints get into the playoffs, which I don't think will happen anyway. So I think Tampa Bay is going to handle what they need to today with Carolina. Could be completely wrong too, but I think the Falcons will squeak by to keep their little bit of playoffs hopes alive, only to be disappointed when the Bucs put up 35 on the Carolina Panthers today.
Come on, Young, show up.
I think that's a better finish to the season, because then you don't have to worry about how are they going to look in the playoffs, and they didn't lose their playoff spot.
Right.
It's kind of like what the Lions did last year.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't know. I think for me, one team that I think would be really fun to watch in the playoffs is the Chicago Bears, to be honest. If they were, I mean, they're not getting in, obviously, but it'd be neat to see. We want Fields gone, but at the same time, let's go win playoffs.
I don't know if they want him gone now. I mean,
I don't think so.
They flipped pretty hard last week with chanting his name, and he kind of came off of his high horse too. I think that that's why I don't like him. He's cocky. He's good, but
so is the guy they want to replace him with.
Yeah, well, I think Justin Fields is better than Caleb Williams. I
thank you.
I don't trust anything Caleb Williams is going to do at the next level, because in the NFL, if you lose and you have to go cuddle your dog and paint your nails and cry for a weekend, that ain't how shit works here. You lose, you show back up to work on Monday. And if you don't feel like showing back up to work to get better, then we don't have the time for you. And I think that's what he doesn't quite understand. When he's asking for ownership stake in whatever team drafts him.
Did you see the penthouse he's in? The little penthouse out there in LA?
He's making a shitload of money.
Reggie
he's in every commercial.
With Heisman, like, my gosh, what are we doing?
It's not even like the whole going home and like wanting the cuddle your dog and whatnot. It's the fact that he had a very high-powered offense in USC and still struggled with it.
Well, the defense.
I know, I get the defense there, but still, I mean, towards the end of the beginning of the season was great, but towards the end of the season, they were awful offensively.
I think that he's equivalent to me to Urban Meyer. When remember what Urban Meyer said after like 2 or 3 weeks in the NFL? Wow, everybody's Alabama, and I can't handle losing. If you can't handle losing in the NFL, you're just not going to be in it for very long, because nobody wins every game. Everybody is really good, and you're not going to have all those weapons. If you get drafted to Chicago, you got DJ Moore, you got Cole Kmet. What else you got?
Not much.
What else you get? What else you got? Cordell? No, is Cordell there, or is he back in Atlanta? I can't.
He's in Atlanta.
Yeah, but you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with that, because guess what? When you lose with absolutely nothing, the only person they blame is the quarterback. That's why you get paid the money you do, so that you can take that. And if you can't take that, I mean, the NFL is just as much mental as it is physical. That's what I think some fans that watch and they're like, oh, why isn't this guy coming back from his ACL injury or this, that? It's mentally draining. You have to be fortified in your head before you can ever step on the field. And I don't see that out of Caleb Williams. He hasn't shown anything over the past 3 years, because he's been close, but then his team loses and they fall off the rails. At least with Justin Fields, it seems like it's starting to trend in the right direction. So if I'm Chicago, stick with what seems to be working. And then if we said it last year too, but if it all blows up and you're not in the playoff race, then you fire Eberflus, then you move on from Fields, and then you get rid of Poles. We're just going to be doing the same dance. I think that's Chicago's curse. That's the Ditka curse.
I think that's a fair viewpoint of things with Chicago. I know they're in the, if they do get rid of Eberflus, they're in the Harbaugh running, along with the Chargers and the Raiders apparently, and a few other teams too.
Follow Monson to the midway.
Sold on Caleb as well. Yeah.
I am too. There's a little part. I feel like guys that are anointed the number one pick all the way back in the summer. Like I am always sometimes a little suspect of, like, even guys like Trevor Lawrence. He's a solid quarterback, right? But like, I think everybody would agree they thought he'd be even better. Like, just in terms of success, and like, is he solid and stuff? And I don't know, like, it's hard to. It's like, well, he's still 9-7, might be 10-7. But when you have these guys that are kind of hyped up the whole year, you expect maybe a little bit more, I guess. I feel like sometimes. So we'll see what happens.
What do you guys think the last one to really live up to the hype was? Was it Andrew Luck, or do you have to go all the way? I mean, Peyton Manning didn't live up to the hype. That's the crazy.
The last rookie or draft top.
Yeah, the last guy that everybody said is going to be the number 1 or number 2 overall pick, and actually came in and did what he was supposed to do. Because people forget Manning has the interception record for rookies. He went 3-13 his rookie season. He played
they were not good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good team around him, but he got better, and that team got better around him. And holy shit, yes, he was worthy of the number 1 overall pick, which is
Chargers are a big dream job for a lot of people right now. Harbaugh, there's talk that Harbaugh might come back from your Michigan Wolverines. See, Henry, my guy, is going to be joining us hopefully tonight, talking the gridiron. I was listening to his show this week. He was mentioning that about how Harbaugh might go to the Chargers.
He's going to go to Chicago.
The NFL, but the Chargers would
Chicago.
Be a sexy option for him. That would be hilarious. He replaces Pete Carroll.
in Seattle. Wow.
That would be great. After the beef they had after the back when they were Stanford USC. Oh yeah, I'll take Pete's job. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think the favorite to land them wouldn't say to land him, but to go anywhere for him is LA. I don't know. I don't think Chicago's getting rid of Eberflus. As much as we probably say that it's going to happen, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he either ends up in I don't even want to say Vegas, because I don't think Antonio Pierce has done anything to lose his job.
The players are standing up for him too.
Yeah, the haircut doesn't need a reason to fire people. Trust me, he'll get rid of people if he needs to.
He needs to be paying you hundreds of millions of dollars and putting himself further and further into the holes where he's not going to be able to pay his inheritance tax. They came out in support of Bisaccia, but this is different. The players are making a point to stop and say Antonio Pierce needs to be the coach moving forward.
Mm.
And I think today is probably the final audition. That's the crazy thing about it. As an interim head coach, you can win a couple games. You can see a few bits of success here and there. But if you have that last game of the season where you lose, that's the taste that's left in the owner's mouth. So if you go in there saying, I want a job, I don't know if he's going to be doing that. But if you go out there and you beat the Broncos, who are in another situation, but it's still a decent win. I think they're going to be finishing over 500, and they beat the Chargers last week. So if you go out there and win this weekend, then Antonio Pierce can sit there, be like, I did everything I could. And the guys did everything they could to get me into this position. So whatever happens at that point.
Well, there's a loss last week to the Colts and knocked them out of playoff contention. How much is that going to come into play too?
Well, for me, that was a big. For me, that as a Raiders fan, my thing was like, I was like, let's see, because they beat the Chiefs, right? And I was like, well, if they lose to the Colts, how much does that win mean then? That was just kind of how I looked at it, because they got a lot of media attention after that win and all that stuff. And again, they played. The thing about Pierce that I'm okay with is they're defensively competitive. And like the one thing I do worry about him is the offensive side and controlling some of that with like the clock. So hopefully he gets a good offensive coordinator next year and can do some things like that can really kind of help him on that side of the ball, I feel like. But all you want is your team to play it hard every possession, fight for hell for you, and that's all you can ask for from your team. We're obviously not doing that for McDaniels. So for that reason alone, let's fire him. But like I said, the haircut will do weird things. They had this same thing with like the coach against the Bengals that we lost.
Bisaccia, yeah, no, I hated. I was the most uncomfortable I've been watching.
Yeah. And I just mean like the Raiders are unpredictable in that regard, but I think Pierce has earned the job, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, the haircut says, "Oh, Harbaugh's out there, let's get him."
Oh, well, I've heard rumors, through the grapevine that he's looking at trying to bring Gruden back.
Oh no, he wouldn't be allowed to do that.
He said, I want to say, I don't want to say he quoted it, but from what I heard, he said, Al Davis said Mark Davis is that Al Davis? Mark Davis.
The haircut.
The haircut said if Gruden drops his lawsuit against the Raiders for wrongful termination or whatever it is, that he'd consider bringing him back as a head coach of the Raiders. And I said, that's ridiculous.
It's not going to happen. That just won't happen. It won't happen. He won't be the coach.
I don't see that happening. But
yeah, Harbaugh be interesting there. We'll see what happens. What to say? I think he won't mind coaching Herbert or Fields. Yeah, that would be. I think those are probably two of the. I think Herbert would be obviously the main one. Yeah, I think I think it's deeper than the Raiders. I think you'd have to settle with NFL for sure. Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
So the fact that he's even being brought up when there's so many other guys out there who should get an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL, you want to continue to bring this guy back around and around and around.
Well, it's the one thing I've always said about ownership, and that's part of the reason like you always have like, well, let's be fair, like a lot of white guys have been head coaches over the years. Like usually you pick people you're quote unquote comfortable. And if you're the owner, I'm just saying that's what it is. Like they shouldn't do that, but like he's comfortable with Gruden because Gruden's been there since he was kind of young too. So they've developed this rate. So it becomes this good old boy kind of club in that regard where these guys hang on to these kind of want to be coaches over and over. I mean, that's just usually how it works. So I don't know.
Yeah. And it's not the only professional sport that does that. You see it a lot.
If you're if you own a business, you're going to go with it. Doesn't mean it's right. You just usually go with people you kind of know. Not always that are even good people that other people might hate, but you know. So that's what it is. He may go cat off the NFL. Yeah.
Good old Cat Williams.
Shannon Sharp, we need an interview with him. We need an interview with Gruden. We need one on the. Could you imagine Sharp and Gruden on that catch? That would be.
I would have loved running Spider 2 White Banana with you, Shannon. Shannon, you and I could have been doing something great if you were just a little bit younger than you were, and if I was a little bit older than I was. I think that might have worked out pretty well. If I had you in Green Bay instead of, you being in Denver and then Baltimore. I know you won a couple championships, but come on, man. Spider 2 White Banana.
That's not bad. That's not bad, Jimmy. I like that. That's not bad.
Yeah, you even have like the little Gruden grin.
That's how you got to get to it. That's how you got to get to the voice. My eye hurts because I had to squint too, and my eyes I'm tired.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Yeah, it would be funny if him. I just love the visual of Shannon Sharp and him on that couch together. Yeah. That would be a good stuff.
I love Cat Williams.
Pouring Kodiak for him. I like catnip pouring the drink.
I love that guy to death. He's so funny. I used to laugh so hard at watching his. I can't say any of his jokes. Let's just get that out of the way. I can't repeat any of his jokes. Right. But I love hearing him say the jokes, and I laugh my ass off pretty much every time, even if I know what's coming.
Yeah, that's funny.
Whose baby is this? That's one of my favorite scenes of all acting ever. I've been in here for 9 consecutive years. Consecutive means one right after the other. Baby is 3. Not mine.
Oh man,
I'm a little punch drunk, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all right. We got a lot of big football on tap. We got talk of the gridiron tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that tonight. Jimmy, it been at least a couple weeks, right? So we get you back on the show tonight. That'll be good stuff.
I
think Terrell's joining us, so that's always going to be a little entertaining. Got Jordan, obviously. You guys could, and then we got my guy C. Henry. We're gonna go over the Lions, of course, their matchup. My key question is, I'm gonna throw it out for later in the show, so you guys will save it for Sunday night. Is I'm gonna say, who do you trust more, the Browns or the Lions in the playoffs? So that's got to be one of our questions, kind of going into the playoffs too. At that, we'll look at the matchups as well, and then of course, because he's obviously a Michigan guy, we're gonna get into we'll get into a little college football picks as well for talking the gridiron tonight too. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that part tonight, and getting Jimmy back on. We got to get the co-host back on. We got to finish out the regular season strong there, so that'll be good.
That is true. It'll be a fun time. I can't wait to be able to either watch the replay or watch it live. It's gonna be a great time. Do you guys have anything else for today's games?
The Bengals are pain. They're painful to watch. I hate football season. Football sucks. It's the worst sport of all time. I wish I never started playing football. I wish I never started watching it. I wish I was just a wrestler. I could watch everybody and just do that. Football is pain.
Football is pain.
It is. Hey, the Raiders have not won a playoff game since 2003 Tennessee Titans AFC Championship game. That is pain, people, and I'm still living in that dream right now.
Darren, I had that before you too.
I know. Well, I'm
my
living
entire lifetime.
I'm living at it.
My entire lifetime, they had gone without one. I'd never seen it. Never. I had to watch replays. My dog's named after the last one.
I mean, how I was a senior in high school. How does this happen that you can't? I'm 39 now. I have 3 kids. How have we not won a playoff game in my life? How does this not happened? So it's
hey, at least your team wasn't ripped out of the city to go to LA.
It was. Oh wait,
yeah, but I think that guy's pretty good at other sports. He's pretty successful.
Yeah.
You're right. It was ripped out of Oakland. You're right. It was ripped out of Oakland.
You're just getting excited for the UFL season. You'll have the Battlehawks to worry about. It'll all
Cause
be fine.
The law. Cause the law, baby. Cause the law.
Good. Thanks for letting me jump on morning tailgate, Brandon. That was fun.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Anytime. Yeah, I know Jordan. Hopefully, Jordan will be on soon too, and we'll get this thing.
He's like, I didn't know we were bringing it back. I said, we'll see you next week on it. See you next week.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll try to hopefully keep this going and at least give us some NFL talk and whatnot throughout the offseason. Oh yeah, we got playoffs, baby,
playoffs.
So, yeah.
All right, guys, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.